Welcome guys, I'm back recording a video. I haven't recorded in a while. I usually just stream or play the game, so I don't know how to start like the intro, but hey, we're here anyway. I'm here to talk about the new Shiyu. Basically I want to guide you on how to like the mode works, explain how the score system works, because I know how it works, it's just kind of stupid, and then I'll briefly go over how to go about every stage. And then at the very end I'll have my opinions, so if you don't care to hear what I have to say about the mode, you can just exit out of the video. But before I get into anything, for those of you on EU server, I do have a guild. There's only 4 slots left at the moment. But if you are in EU and you want to join the R2 dojo, feel free to. You know, we got name I can't read that just scored 75,000 in DA. That's the GOAT. Anyhow, immediately, why should you listen to me about how the mode works, not somebody else? One, because it would be cool and awesome, but two, I kind of know what I'm talking about. I have like some decent runs on the mode, so like, you know, I kind of know what I'm talking about, but I'm far from the best. I'm not the best at this mode by any means. I just know how it works, but anyway, ignore the scores I have up right now. These don't really matter. Basically, you got the 3 stages here. Each stage has its own individual buff. I have never read these buffs even once. I don't really know what they do. But I mean, if we look at them briefly, these are pretty general buffs. You know, the ice weak boss, ice gets damage. Electric weak boss, electric gets damage. These aren't like super chilly for the most part. This one is like a little bit, like, I mean, as long as you kind of bring a decent character, you should be okay. The buffs aren't really what you care about. The main thing is the scoring system. To get an S rank, you need at least 25,000 points, which I assume is why you're clicking on this video. And the scoring system is very odd. Basically, the way it works, it's not like Tower. Because in like the tower mode, there is like a time bonus, but the time bonus for your score in tower and other combat events that have come previously, that score multiplier only like gets calculated once you finish the stage. Let me just show that before I do anything. Okay, now the tower sweats are gonna have to forgive me on this one. I don't grind this mode like at all, so I'm not very far by any means. I'm like floor, yeah, 56, not very high at all. But where is battle records? Here's the time multiplier, right? So the time multiplier in tower is, you know, depending on how long you take, once you finish the stage, it'll just give this multiplier to the points you currently had. That's how that works. However, in the Shiyu mode, you know, the one that like the whole point is how fast you can clear, it doesn't do that. As you saw by the intro of the video, I have a 5-minute run that got over 40,000, so clearly that is not how the mode works. So how does it work? Basically, instead of a time multiplier being calculated when you finish the stage, which I think is how it should be, the way it actually works is it's actually a dynamic multiplier that gradually goes down as time passes. So when you go into the stage, you got 5 minutes time, ignore the timer for the most part. For the first 60 seconds, you're gonna have a 5 times multiplier for your score. And until you reach the first minute, that's gonna go down to 4.2. After 15 seconds, that goes down to like 3 point something, and it's just gonna keep dropping like drastically. So the objective here is to do as much damage as possible within that first minute. So you wanna be able to clear the first wave and then do like as much damage to the first boss, to the last boss, as you can. And that'll give you a bunch of score at the beginning, and then it kind of doesn't matter what you do afterwards. It kind of incentivizes you to play the game a little bit wrong. Not necessarily wrong, but different how you would normally. So like, if you're trying to save like good resources to have an insane stun combo, don't do that. Just like, immediately front load all the damage you can in the first minute, and that'll result in like a better score. I can kind of like showcase this. So I'm gonna do like a quick run here. I'll probably like speed through it. And I'm gonna like save my resources for like a really good first stun, and see what score I get. And then I'm gonna do another run where I just like try to get the stun as fast as possible and do like a mediocre combo, and you'll see the difference. I'm here doing my stun window, you know, I got all my stuff here going on. I can do the cool basic 5 thing on soldier. I have no idea how this buff character works. I'm still figuring it out. But you know, I'm doing my stuff. I got my ultimate. I had my energy, and now I can play the game and miss all my fire suppressions and all that good stuff. You know, whatever. I get to do my stuff. And I'm gonna finish the stage and see what score I get. Alright, stage is over. 2 stuns, Got it over with pretty quickly. Saved my resources for the stuns, used them, you know, very cool. Not a great run by any means, but you know, I played it normally. So now what I'm gonna do instead is I'm gonna do like basically the exact same run, but I'm gonna rush down stun 1, even though like I will have no energy, no nothing. I'm just gonna go for it. I will spend all my resources the moment I get them, and have zero regard for anything, and let's see what score I get by playing Unga Bunga Caveman mode. No, I've stunned like immediately, I have no energy, no nothing, I'm kinda cooked, but hey, it's fine.
Open fire.
I get my EX now, but you know, it's kinda late now. These timings are so weird. Oh my god, I hate this character! Why did they buff him? This character buff sucks. It doesn't, but like, I gotta get used to it. I'm just spamming. I am just spamming things as I get them. Zero regard for what the hell I'm doing. We're just playing the game, and it's gonna work out. Because I'm mashing. Mashing is the answer to all your problems. That is what this mode has taught me. Totally not English though, because I just had teached. That is not how English works. Literally mashing. Just go for it, man. Hit him with everything. Mash festival. Get him. Just mash. Who cares? Do like ults out of stun, hit him with everything. Actually just mash fest. Boom, 38k. That was horrible. But anyway, the point I'm trying to get across is that even though it may feel stupid, the objective here is you want to clear your first wave as fast as possible so that you have the full multiplier for the time bonus for your first stun, or whatever character you're using. You want to do all your damage within that first minute. So even if it means that you have like no resources, just you want to be able to front load all the damage you can in that first minute so that you get the bigger score multiplier, so we get like a decent score. So even though it may seem smarter to save resources and have good stun windows, the mode doesn't encourage you to do that. It encourages you to just spam, because the longer you wait, the worse your score will be. So even though it may be a faster run to pace yourself properly, even if you finish the stage faster, what matters is the damage you do at the beginning. Which is how you can get a run like this, where I have a 4-minute clear, but I still get 40k because I did all the damage at the start and then just goofed around. Because again, the time multiplier doesn't apply at the end. So that's how the mode works, that's how the score like functions, that's how it calculates. How do you go about every stage now? I mean, this is going to depend a little bit on like what team you're using exactly, so I'm not going to go too deep into like guides and like step by step, because that's just going to vary with each team. I think first room is probably the easiest one. Room 2 is probably the one that people are going to struggle with. Room 1 has these two elites. And elites for wave 1s are very annoying, but these guys are both pretty aggressive and they both attack towards you. So as long as you kinda try to stay like not too far from them, they will just like move in on you. See, like they keep like going towards me. Like sometimes this like mage guy gets a bit cringe, but as long as you're kinda grouping them up, you should be fine. If you're running a stunner, you want to stun them at the same time. The hard part is just like getting them to be together at the same time. And if you can kinda do that, you can clear this first wave like pretty quickly, 30 seconds. It's not like the fastest you can go, but it's good enough. So now you have like time to do some damage here. So, you know, just like literally mash. If you have a stunner, stun as fast as possible. If you don't have a stunner, it's fine, just play it. If you don't have a stunner, literally just spam ults, like send everything you have. If you have a stunner, rush stun. Doesn't matter if it's a good idea or not, just rush stun. Using Dallin here. I stunned before I got my third hand, but who cares? So we got here with 15 seconds. That's not what I meant to do. We're gonna choke my stun completely. But we still have the max multiplier. You just want to ult. And because that ult has the max multiplier, Even though like this combo is complete and utter dog shit and terrible, it doesn't matter. Because we have the multiplier. And that's what does matter. We already got 25k from that combo. Like I have M1 dial-in, so my damage is pretty high. But like even, you still have time to get the rest of the score on the stage. You now score multiplier is 4.2 and I went down to 3.5. It keeps dropping more and more as each time progresses. And it drops like so steeply that if you go like beyond the first minute, it's just kind of over. You can still clear, of course, without getting everything in minute 1. But it's such a huge difference, so you really want to get like your big damage out in that first minute. Even if it seems counterintuitive, and it really is. It's just what the mode wants you to do. I don't really like it. But that's, you know, that's another story. I'll have to get used to playing wrong, I suppose. Because, yeah, I mean, you're seeing here, I had a really awful first stun, and we're actually gonna PB. So yeah, that's stage 1. I think this is the easiest one. Miasma is actually really bad for the score, because you'll get your first stun, or you get a burst like big damage, and then you have Miasma, which will immediately slow you down. It like gives all of your damage. And that's pretty bad. But that's just a fault in the stage design. But yeah, you want to rush down that first wave. This one's the easiest one, in my opinion. Just because that first wave, again, like they kind of group themselves because they're aggressive. Stage 2 is a lot more annoying. With stage 2, you have 2 elites again, but these guys don't really move towards you. One of them does, the other one doesn't. I don't think the characters are built, but we're gonna roll with it. Jester is a pretty straightforward boss, you know, you just fight him, do whatever. I think buffed Grace is really good on the stage if you have her, but who you decide to play is gonna be depending on your account. These guys are really annoying. So one of them, this guy's like more melee guy, he shields up, and then this other one fires missiles at you. You kind of just want to like squeeze between them and hit both at the same time if you can. But you see, like, they move so much, and if they do that, the run's basically just over. Because you want to ideally get both of these guys at the same time. But sometimes they're just too far away for that to be like a thing that you can do. Like, see, they keep moving, and then bam, now it's over. So this is the worst stage, I think. Just because this wave 1 is annoying. If this guy shields up, the run's basically dead. For some teams. I recommend bringing a stunner, or somebody that can shock, because that removes the shield on the little guys, on these guys. If you're not bringing a shocker or a stunner, then you want to kill them before they shield. Like, by any means necessary, or it's kind of cooked instantly.
Face the consequences.
Be aware of that. Yeah, like here they're kind of grouped, and then we try to hope that they stay grouped. Kind of all this. I think Chingy's pretty nice here. Her like AoE can hit both if you line her up right. And here we stunned one of them, I think. The other one's still like not stunned. That could be just stunned them. And like he's just ungrouped, so we're gonna like be slow here. Just kind of cringe. You want to get them both at the same time, but this is the worst chamber to do that, or the worst room, in my opinion, because it just moves so much. And once you dispatch them, you know, you're here now, and then you attack this guy. And depending on what your team, you know, just front load stuff. Because I'm playing Chingy, I can't do that. So, you know, an on-field DPS would be better here. But you know, we play Horomasa here. That's what we do. And we do this. And this is gonna be a bad combo. I just wanna like get this like shown. We have like 10 seconds with the max multiplier. So we just roll it.
Who's the pathetic one now?
Make sure the ult happens as fast as possible. And I'm done. There we go. We already got some decent score. I have like nothing built in this character, so the damage sucks. I think I was using him on a different build. And then Miasma. The issue with Miasma is that it's just so bad. Like, we enter Miasma with the full multiplier, and we're gonna leave it with like 0. Like, by the time we can do damage again, it's just kind of cooked. Like, our Miasma is finally over. And by the time we can attack again, our multiplier is down to 2.5, which is bad. So yeah, Miasma just kind of sucks for this mode. I don't know why they put it in here. You know, it is what it is. Yeah, I'm not saying follow exactly what I'm doing. You know, you can play whatever team you want. As long as the character is like decent into the stage, it'll be okay. But I'm just quickly running over it. I think the main issue that you're gonna run into is just optimizing your first waves. Because as long as you get to the second wave at like a decent time. Sorry, as long as you get to the boss at a decent time, you should be okay. That's kind of all it comes down to. Kill the first waves as fast as possible, get to the boss, and then do all the damage in the first minute. And if you can front load like a couple ultimates or your first stun in that first minute, you should be okay to 25k. That's all it really boils down to. You want to like just speed run the first stun. Even if the rest of your run is complete ass, it doesn't matter. That first minute is all this mode cares about. And then for Monato, this is the only stage that's different. I don't know if they're built. We're just gonna run them. These are not the only teams that can clear, I should specify. It's just the ones that I ran personally. You can do whatever the hell you want. Any Ice DPS is good here. Hugo is really good here. Ellen's probably good here. Yidari should be good here. And Miyabi is also really good here, so anything. Even DPS Sokaku probably can clear if you run that. But anyway, this is the only stage that has 3 waves. But even though it is more waves, they're all really easy to kill. They have fairly low HP. The first one is these like 3 guys, and they move a lot. So you want to clear them like as quickly as you can, because the more they stay alive, the more they move away, and then that becomes a problem. So you want to dispatch them as quickly as you can. And the same for these, like. The difficulty with this wave is just these little guys. If they shoot a beam, they will get sent back really far. So if you're bringing somebody like Nicole or something, you want to make sure you use her like orb for grouping immediately so they don't like shoot apart. Because once they do, you're not grouping them again. So the idea there is to just like group them before they can get away. And then this guy is just, you know, average enemy. Do what the hell, doesn't really matter. You can stun him, you can do some disorder things, depends on your team. I'm just gonna stun him. Nothing super optimal. There we go, hit him with the freeze, screw it, and then he's like almost dead. 1 EBA, sure. Then Monato is really annoying. Just, I don't know, man, he moves a lot. Here, I'm actually not gonna have enough time to like get my stun immediately. So I'm just gonna like randomly send stuff and do damage, even though it's kind of stupid to do so. I'm just gonna do it. When I send my ult, I'm gonna do some EBAs. Even though it will be much smarter to wait and just do my stun because it's way more damage. Score doesn't, the stage doesn't care, the mode. So we're just gonna stun. Oh, sorry, we're just gonna like spam and do random stuff. There we go, we stunned. We lost a multiplier, but we did a bunch of ultimates earlier. So we're not completely cooked. Now this stun's gonna suck, gonna do like EBA 2, bam, that's the whole stun. But because I front-loaded shit earlier, it's not gonna matter. The Miasma is really like the biggest pace killer here, because just there's so much time wasted here in Miasma, especially with Monato, because he just does nothing for half the thing. It's awful. Insane ults, that can happen too, you know, good boss. You know, I parried a move and I thought it was a good time for me to, you know, play the game, but no, I was mistaken in making that assumption. Oh dear, So now even though this run was pretty terrible, because I ulted at the start, I get enough points. That's all it just boils down to. Either get your stun as fast as you can, or just send everything you have. Doesn't super matter. Now we're already at 30k, we're just gonna clean up the run now, you know, close it out. Last bit of damage here, and it's over. Like 1 more EVA. That should be it. There we go. Yeah, that was a terrible run. That was actually awful. My good runs go over like 45,000. I think they were not built. But all it boils down to is just front load your damage. I don't expect you to follow exactly what I did, and you shouldn't, because those weren't good runs. But I just want you to have the big idea of how to approach these stages. There's 2 waves, 2 waves, 3 waves. Clear the first wave as fast as you can. Just hope that you get good RNG for the first 2 rooms, because you can't really group elites. Like the big enemies, they can't really be grouped efficiently. So bring like a big AoE character, or just get lucky. In room 1, it's pretty easy to get lucky, but in room 2, it can be more annoying. And then room 3 is a lot more skill-based, in my opinion. The waves, like there's more waves, but you can control all of them if you know how to approach them. But yeah, once you clear the first waves and you're at the boss, if you're running a stunner, you want to stun as fast as possible and do your first stun window before the first minute expires. And almost always with that first stun, even if it's kind of bad, you should have enough points to close out the run, depending on your damage, of course. And then for the other stages, sorry, if you're not playing a stunner, like you're playing an anomaly team, or you're playing, I don't know, some team that just does out of stun damage, you want to full send everything. You get an ultimate, instantly use it. You get an EX, instantly use it. It's just, you're gonna play a bit Unga Bunga if you're just trying to clear and don't have enough damage. But yeah, that's about how the mode works, and like how each stage should be tackled more or less. If you want like some characters that are good here, I mean, I think buffed Grace is really good in stage 2. She makes sure the bots never shield up. She does like pretty good damage now, so I mean, buffed Grace is pretty decent here. For stage 1, also Sambu's good here. Haramasa, it's just electric characters really. This one has a lot of options. I think Billy is good here, Corrin, obviously Yeshun Wong, Bonaway, Soldier 11. This is like the easiest stage. Stage 1 is really easy, I think. You can go with anything, it's gonna be fine. And then stage 3, kind of just ice DPS. I'm sure there's other options, but something that can burst down the first 2 waves quickly. Because there is more waves, even though they have less HP, it might take a bit longer. So just bring a character that can effectively deal with all those waves at the start. And then you should be okay for Mono. Ideally, don't bring a character that needs like a full stun window to do a combo, because Mono has a shorter stun window. So like, don't bring Mono Ice. Like, it's still gonna clear. Mono Ice is gonna clear. It's gonna get like 30 some. It's gonna get like 40k maybe. But I don't recommend bringing it. You can. It's just a bit difficult. Hugo's pretty good. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. Kind of anything works. It's not really about what character you bring. It's more about just how do you approach it. Oh yeah. Also, I completely forgot to cover this. In terms of like teams, you need 9 characters for this mode, or you need 3 teams. Before you go in, you should quickly select what 5 characters you're gonna use. So let's say I'm gonna use, I don't know, Lighter, and then like Lucy, Soldier, and then I'm gonna pick my Haru team. Okay, Chingy, Nicole, Harumasa, and then at the end I'm gonna run Lycon, Sokalko, Miyabi. Random examples, not very good teams. Make sure you have all the characters geared with different discs on and different engines before you do anything. Just make sure they're all geared, because for some odd reason, if you share any disc at all with a run that you already did, the run is going to get deleted. It just disappears. So you cannot share gear in this mode. So the best way to go about it is to pick the teams you're going to play beforehand. And once you know what you're going to play, build all of them, have them all ready at the same time, and then go in. Anyway, that's that out of the way. Hope that kind of made some sense. Closing it out though, my general thoughts on this mode. I think it's okay. I personally like the stages. I like stage 1 and stage 3. Stage 2 is kind of boring. Stage 3 is cool because I think the waves are, like I said earlier, it's fairly skill based. There's some RNG, of course, with everything. But they're much more approachable with like a strategy than stage 1 and stage 2, especially stage 2. And Monoto is cringe, but I like running the stage. I have some runs with the Miyabi team already. I think playing the mode is pretty fun for the most part. I don't mind how it's structured, and I like that you can fight each boss individually, kind of. But I hate the scoring system. It's so bad. It's stupid. Like, I know how it works, and I think it's stupid. It's very counterintuitive. Depending on what team you play, it just straight up makes you play worse to get a better score. Now, obviously, if you're clearing in under 1 minute, you're gonna get the max score, and it doesn't matter. But the moment you go over 1 minute, it just falls apart. And it also just means there's no point in clearing faster than a minute, because you already have the max score. Also, the timer here that shows at the end is bugged. It doesn't actually show the time you used to kill. It shows the time you spent in the stage. This includes AFK time before you start. This includes the intro animation. This timer is flawed. It doesn't show anything. I think you could very easily make this a very good mode. If one, remove miasma from every enemy. Like not every enemy should have miasma. It doesn't work at all with the score system. That's one option that they're not gonna do. Another thing is just make it a timer-based thing. Like, if they want to keep the score, but like, the timer should be what matters. I think it's stupid that I have runs that are slower but get more score because I had a slightly better opening. Because at the end of the day, I mean, even in like Deadly Assault runs or Shiyu, how you open the run almost never actually decides how good the run is. It's how you can close it out or like maintain how well you're playing for the whole thing. And just caring about the opening just feels so bad. Like, I think just make this a timer thing, and then for the S rank, like, I don't know, your combined time with all 3 stages has to be less than X or something. Like, that's fine. But this is just so weird. Like, the timer could not exist, and this mode wouldn't really change. Like, you could make the timer an hour long, but it wouldn't really change anything. Because at the end of the day, it just matters how quick you do the first, like, minute. Like, how much damage you do in 1 minute. That's what this mode is, basically, because the multiplier is massive at the start. I think it's pretty stupid. And then one last thing, don't do double elite wave 1s. You can have 1 elite, 2 starts getting a bit cringe. It's manageable in stage 1, in stage 2 it's so bad. Like, these guys move so much, and if you're not running a team that has like crazy AoE or like staggers, they move apart once and it's over. And they're gonna move. So it's very annoying. But that's just like stage, like that's just like enemy design, it's not really the mode. I don't necessarily mind having to share gear between 3 teams. I mostly do individual levels anyway. Like, I don't care to get high scores on like max score and everything that much, to be real with you. But it is very annoying for new players, because in Deadly Assault you can get S rank by having 2 really good stages, and then like a shit 3rd stage. But in this mode, if you have 50k here, and like 0 here, even though it's a 100k total score, which is enough for S+, you're not gonna get an S rank. Because you're not gonna get the ranks because you don't have the 3rd room, which is a bit silly. Then they could have made this like, you know, S rating is like 75,000 points, and then A rating is like 50,000, and then this is 25,000. Like, I don't know. I don't really hate the formatting. I think the formatting is actually pretty cool. I like that there's 3 stages and I can play them individually. I like that a lot, and I like the S+. It's just, you know, it's cool. It's a nice little rank. But I hate the scoring system. It doesn't make any sense. It incentivizes, honestly, bad play sometimes. And yeah, this is not like unfixable by any means. If the devs care even a little bit, this can be fixed in like 1 hotfix, maybe 2. This is really easy to amend and make better. If they really want to keep the score system, all they have to do, like, they really don't want to remove the score, still bring back the timer and make it work, please, just for my satisfaction. I love the timer. But then second, make the time multiplier work like in tower mode, where it's when you finish a stage and not halfway through it. That would solve like half the issues with the mode, and you have to do almost nothing, because you already have the code for that in-game. Anyway, that's all from me. Thank you guys for watching. I'm gonna have to edit that to be like not half an hour long, 40 minutes, because I was recording for a while. Hope this helped you a little bit. If you cared for my opinions at all, subscribe. I'm out of here.